Namo Ramana. A very warm welcome to all the devotees for Raman Kendra's Sunday Satsang. I would now request Narayananji at the shrine to initiate the puja. Narayananji.
ओम अच्युताय नमः। ओम आनंदाय नमः। ओम गोविंदाय नमः। शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्याये सर्वविघ्नोपशान्ते अयमूर्तसमुत्सर्गोऽस्तु महन्दोनोकणन्दो अयमूर्तसमुत्सर्गोऽस्तु तदेव लग्नं तदिनं तदेव ताराबलं चन्द्रबलं तदेव विद्याबलं दैवबलं तदेव लक्ष्मीपदे दैत्येन्द्रिं स्मरामि। ओम भू ओम भुव ओम सुव ओम मह ओम जन ओम तप ओम सत्यम ओम तत्सर्ववर्णीयम भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ओमाप ज्योतिषमृतमुर्वस्वर ओमोपात समस्त दुर्द शायद पराशि परमेश्वर प्रीत्यर्थम कर्ष्यमाणस्य कर्मणः निर्विघ्नं प्रसन्नचित्तम् आदौ विघ्नेश्वरपूजां कर्ष्ये। पृथ्व्या मेरु तुलसी सूर्यं चन्द्रकर्मो देवता पृथ्वी दियात्रदा लोकादेवतं विष्णुनात्रदा त्वं सत्तारे मां देवी पुत्रं गुरुशासनम् आगमार्थं तु देवानां करुणार्थं तु रक्षासां खण्डारं करामि यादव देवदवानराजनम् ममोपात समस्त दुर्द क्षयत्वारस्य परमेश्वर प्रीत्यर्थं निर्बन्ध सिद्ध्यर्थं माधव विघ्नेश्वर पूजां कर्ष्ये। गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामस्तोत्रमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदे आनुशृण्वन्पुष्यसाधनम् अस्मिन् दरिद्रबिम्बे महागणपतिं ध्यायामि महागणपतिम् आवाहयामि। ओम महागणपतिये नमः आसनं समर्पयामि। ओम महागणपतिये नमः अर्घ्यं समर्पयामि। ओम महागणपतिये नमः पाद्यं समर्पयामि। ओम महागणपतिये नमः आसमनीयं समर्पयामि। ओम महागणपतिये नमः औपचारिकस्नानं समर्पयामि। ओम महागणपतिये नमः स्नानानन्तरम् आसमनीयं समर्पयामि। ओम महागणपतिये नमः वस्त्रदातम् अक्षतां समर्पयामि। ओम महागणपतिये नमः यज्ञोपवीतार्थम् अक्षतां समर्पयामि। ओम महागणपतिये नमः गन्धां धारयामि समर्पयामि। ओम महागणपतिये नमः गन्धोपरि अक्षतां समर्पयामि। ओम महागणपतिये नमः अलङ्करणार्थम् अक्षतां समर्पयामि। ओम महागणपतिये नमः हरिद्रा कुङ्कुमं समर्पयामि। ओम महागणपतिये नमः पुष्पै पूजयामि। ओम सुमुगाय नमः। ओम एकदन्ताय नमः। ओम कपिलाय नमः। ओम गजकर्णकाय नमः। ओम लंबोदराय नमः। ओम विगडाय नमः। ओम विघ्नराजाय नमः। ओम विनायकाय नमः। ओम धूमकेतवे नमः। ओम गणाध्यक्षाय नमः। ओम बालचंद्राय नमः। ओम गजाननाय नमः। ओम वक्रतुंडाय नमः। ओम शूर्पकर्णाय नमः। ओम हेरंबाय नमः। ओम स्कंदमूर्जवाय नमः। ओम सिद्धविनायकरे नमः। ओम शंकरमोक्षविनायकरे नमः। ओम आतुपुरविनायकरे नमः। ओम महागणपतिये नमः। नानाविधपरिमलपत्रपुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। धूपार्थं समर्पयामि। दीपार्थं समर्पयामि। अक्षतां समर्पयामि। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। देवसवितुर्वरेण्यं सत्यं दौर्जन्य प्रसन्नामि। अमृतत्वं अमृतं स्वाहा। ओम प्राणाय स्वाहा। ओम अपानाय स्वाहा। ओम व्यानाय स्वाहा। ओम उदानाय स्वाहा। ओम समानाय स्वाहा। ओम ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा। महागणपतिये नमः। महागणपतिये नमः। महागणपतिये नमः। उडगंड कदलीपळं हनुमान नैवेद्यं समर्पयामि। मध्ये मध्ये पानीयं समर्पयामि। अमृतोपचारं उत्तराभूषं समर्पयामि। नीराजनं समर्पयामि नीराजनानन्तरम् आस्मनीयं समर्पयामि हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम कर्पूरं समर्पयामि गणानां गणपतिं अवामि कविं कवीनां ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पते आनुष्ठुनुष्ठिदानं महागणपतये नमः महागणपतये नमः महागणपतये नमः ीराजनन्दवास्मनीयं समर्पयामि महागणपतये नमः महागणपतये नमः महागणपतये नमः वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा गणपतिप्रसादं सरसा प्रणमामि ओम ओम भुव ओम सुव ओम मह ओम जन ओम तव ओम सत्यम ओम तत्सदुर्भवण्यम भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ओम ज्योतिर्समृद्धोत्सरम अमोपात समस्त दुर्द क्षयत्वरा परमेश्वर प्रीत्यर्थम शुभे शोभने मूर्ते आद्य ब्रह्मण द्वितीय परार्थे श्रीवेदे वराहकल्पे वैवस्वत मन्वंतरे अष्टाविंशतितमे कलियुगे प्रथमे पादे जम्बूद्वीपे भारतवर्षे भरतखण्डे मेरु दक्षिणे पार्श्वे सगाप्ते अस्मिन् वर्तमाने व्यावावृके प्रभवादिनां षष्ट्या संवत्सराणां मध्ये शुभकृतु नाम संवत्सरे उत्तरायणे वसंत ऋतु ऋषभ मासे शुक्लपक्षे षष्ठी तिथियां शुभतिथौ भानुवासर युक्तायाम् आश्लेषा नक्षत्र युक्तायां शुभ नक्षत्र शुभ योग शुभ कर्ण एवं गुण विशेषण विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां षष्ठी तिथियां शुभतिथौ मम जन्मापस् जन्मप्रति एतच्चन पर्यन्तं मध्ये संभाविधानं सर्वेषां भावानां सत्य अवनोदनार्थं स अस्मां भावानां सत्याभिमानम् अस्माहं सकुर्मानं क्षेमसद्धर्य वीर्य विजय आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्यनामभिवृद्ध्यर्थं समस्त मंगलाभ्यर्थं समस्त दुर्दोषान्त्यर्थं रमण महर्षि प्रसादेन ज्ञानवैराग्यचित्तं श्री रमण महर्षि पूजां करिष्ये तदंगं करस पूजां स करिष्ये विघ्नेश्वरं यथास्थानं प्रतिष्ठापयामि लोकनाथे क्षेमाय पुनरागमनाय सह करसस्य मुखे विष्णुकण्ठे रुद्रसमाधिष्ठ मूले तत्र सिद्धितो ब्रह्मा मातृगणे समृद्धा कुशौ तु सागरा सर्वे सप्ततुधा सुन्दरा ऋग्वेदो यजुर्वेदो सामवेदपधर्मण गंगे च सैन्य गोदावरी सरस्वती नर्मदे सिन्धु कावेरी जलेस्मिन् सन्निधं गुरु अंगैः शेषा सर्वे करसाम्बु समाधिष्ठा आयां देव पूजार्थं दुर्दशकारगा तंबोरा सागरोत्पन्नो विष्णुना विष्णुकरे देवेश पूजिते तर्हि पांजन्य नमोस्तुते देवो देवालय प्रोक्तो जीवत देवस्नान अंगार निर्माल्यं सोयां भवने पूजयेत् ओम सकल गुणात्म शक्तियुक्ताय योग पीडात्मने नमः आधार शक्तिये नमः मूल प्रकृतिये नमः आदिवराय नमः आदिगुरुमाय नमः अनंताय नमः पृथ्वीये नमः आदित्यादि नवग्रहदेवताभ्यो नमः दशदिग्बालेभ्यो नमः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः ओम अस्य श्री प्राणप्रतिष्ठा मंत्रस्य ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश्वरा ऋषि ऋषि सामधर्माणि संतांसि सकल जगत स्थिति सम्मार्गारिणी प्राणशक्ति परादेवता आम बीजम हरिं शक्ति क्रोम कीलकम प्राण प्रतिष्ठापने विनियोग आम अंगुष्ठाभ्यां नमः हरिं दर्जनीभ्यां नमः क्रोम मध्यमाभ्यां नमः आम अनाभिकाभ्यां नमः हरिं कनिष्ठिकाभ्यां नमः क्रोम कर्णकुष्ठाभ्यां नमः आम हृदयाय नमः हरिं शिरसे स्वाहा क्रोम सिगाय वसट आम कौसायं हरिं नेत्रदाय औषट क्रोम अस्त्रदाय पट पूर्वस्वरति दिग्बंध ध्यानं रक्तांबोधिस्त बोधोरस तरण सोडकराब्चे पासं गोदंडं इक्षुत्व मणिमण पंचमाणा विप्राण सुखवालंत निरसिता पिनव सुरोटिया देवी बालार्दोरणा बहुसुग्री प्राण शक्ति परान ओम आम हरिं क्रोम क्रोम हरिं आम आम यम रम रम वम सम सम अंस सोहम सोहम अंस अस्यामूर्तौ जीवदुष्टुदु अस्यामूर्तौ सर्वेन्द्रियाणि वाङ्मनस्व सस्सोत्र जीव्या प्राणवा पाणिवाद वायुगुस्तानि याकस्ति स्वस्ति सुगम सुरम दृष्टन्तु स्वाहा। ओम अस्य श्री प्राणवशिष्ठामन्दस्य ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश्वर ऋषिर्गजिस्सामधर्माणि संतांसि सकल जगत्सिद्धि सम्मार्गारिणी प्राणशक्ति परादेवता आम बीजम हरिं शक्ति क्रोम कीलकम प्राणप्रतिष्ठापने विनियोग आम अंगुष्ठाभ्यां नमः हरिंदर्जनिभ्यां नमः क्रोम मध्यमाभ्यां नमः आम अनाभिवाभ्यां नमः हरिंगनिष्ठिकाभ्यां नमः क्रोम करतलपुष्टाभ्यां नमः आम हृदयाय नमः हरिं शिरसे स्वाहा क्रोम सिगाय वसट आम कौसायम हरिं नेत्रताय भौषट क्रोम अस्त्रताय पट पूर्वस्त्र दिग्बंध असुमेधे पुनरस्माक्ष सक्सपुरम प्राणमे नोदो भोगम जोपस्य में सूर्य मुच्चंदन मनमते मर्याद स्वस्ति आवायुधो भव सद्दायुधो भव सन्निहितो भव सन्निहितो भव अवगुंडितो भव सुब्रतो भव सुब्रसन्नो भव सुमुखो भव वरदो भव प्रसिद्ध प्रसिद्ध स्वामी सर्वजगन्नाथ यावत् पूजावसानकं तावद्वं प्रतिभावेन बिम्बेस्मिन् सन्निधं गुरु। शत्रुघ्नोदि मंत्रजन पौलस्य लक्ष्मी प्रदस्यमान प्रिय ईश्वर। So let us all recite Bhagavan's Ramanostotra. So I will recite them. You will find it in Tamil, it is page number 3 if you have got the books, and in Hindi it is page number 62. रमणोस्तोत्र सदनामावली भगवान का 108 नेम्स। अबार सच्चि सुगुबारी राशौर्य शोर्मि मात्रम भुवनम समस्तम गुणायुधम तम रमणम कबीरम चिंताविहीनम हृदि चिंतयामि। ओम महासेन महोत्सेन जाताय नमः। ओम श्री रमणाय नमः। ओम गुरवे नमः। ओम अखंड संविदागराय नमः। ओम मौजसे नमः। ओम कारणोद्भवाय नमः। ओम जगत हितावताराय नमः। ओम श्री भूमिनादास्तलोतिदाय नमः। ओम पराशर कुलोतंसाय नमः। ओम सुंदरात्यदवत्पलाय नमः। ओम कमनीय सुचारित्राय नमः। ओम सयायाम्बा सयायवते नमः। ओम शोणासुर महोनीन मानसाय नमः। ओम स्वर्णस्तगाय नमः। ओम श्रीमद्वादशान्त महास्थले लप्त विद्योदय नमः। ओम महाशक्ति निवादे प्रभुताय नमः। ओम परमार्थविदे नमः। ओम दिव्यराय नमः। ओम पितृबुधान्वेषिणे नमः। ओम इंदुमौलिना पितृमदे नमः। ओम पितुरादेशित सोणशैलं प्राप्ताय नमः। ओम तपोमयाय नमः। ओम उदासीनाय नमः। ओम महायोगिने नमः। ओम महोत्साय नमः। ओम कुशाग्रदिये नमः। ओम शांत संकल्प संभ्रमाय नमः। ओम सुसुंद्रसे नमः। ओम सवित्रे नमः। ओम स्थिराय नमः। ओम तवश्चबीद सर्वंगाय नमः। ओम उल्लाम्बूज विलोचनाय नमः। ओम चंद्रिकासिदास श्री मंडिदानिन मंडलाय नमः। ओम सूदवाट्यां समासीनाय नमः। ओम सूर्निदाकिल विप्रमाय नमः। ओम वेद वेदांत तत्वज्ञाय नमः। ओम चिन्मुद्रणे नमः। ओम त्रिगुणाधिगाय नमः। ओम विरूपाक्ष गुहावासाय नमः। ओम विराजत सदाकृतिये नमः। ओम उच्चित्त नयनाय नमः। ओम पूर्णाय नमः। ओम रसिदासुलतांडवाय नमः। ओम गंभीराय नमः। ओम परमाचार्याय नमः। ओम सुब्रजन्याय नमः। ओम अभयप्रदाय नमः। ओम दक्षिणास्य निवाय नमः। ओम धीराय नमः। ओम दक्षिणाभिमुखाय नमः। ओम स्वराजे नमः। ओम महर्षिये नमः। ओम भगवते नमः। ओम ईत्याय नमः। ओम भूमविद्या विशारदाय नमः। ओम विमलाय नमः। ओम दीर्घदर्शने नमः। ओम आप्ताय नमः। ओम रुजमार्ग प्रदर्शकाय नमः। ओम समदृशे नमः। ओम सत्यदृशे नमः। ओम सत्याय नमः। ओम प्रशांताय नमः। ओम अमित विक्रमाय नमः। ओम सुकुमाराय नमः। ओम सदानंदाय नमः। ओम मृदुभाषिणे नमः। ओम दयार्णवाय नमः। ओम श्री सोणासुरयुरुद्भूत स्कंदास निकेतनाय नमः। ओम सद्दर्शनोपदेष्टरे नमः। ओम सद्भक्त वृंद परिप्लुताय नमः। ओम गणेश मुनिवृंदेन सेविता त्रिसुरोरुवाय नमः। ओम गीतोपदेश सारादि ग्रंथ संसिन्न संशयाय नमः। ओम वर्णाश्रम मदादीदाय नमः। ओम रसज्ञाय नमः। ओम सौम्याय नमः। ओम आत्मवदे नमः। ओम सर्वावनि मदस्थानां मारात्याय नमः। ओम सर्वसद्गुणिने नमः। ओम आत्मारामाय नमः। ओम महाभागाय नमः। ओम मातृमुक्ति विदायकाय नमः। ओम विनदाय नमः। ओम विनुदाय नमः। ओम विप्राय नमः। ओम मुनीन्द्राय नमः। ओम भावगोज्वलाय नमः। ओम दर्शनादक सम्मारिणे नमः। ओम मौनेन स्वात्मबोधकाय नमः। ओम ईर्जान्ति करसानित्याय नमः। ओम स्मरणाद्बन्ध मोचकाय नमः। ओम अंधस्मीर संडांसवे नमः। ओम संसारारंभतारकाय नमः। ओम सोणाद्रीदस्तुति दृष्टरे नमः। ओम आर्तविद्या प्रकाशकाय नमः। ओम अविच्युत निज प्रज्ञाय नमः। ओम नैसर्गिक महातपसे नमः। ओम कमंडलुधराय नमः। ओम सुप्रगौमी नवसनाय नमः। ओम भुवाय नमः। ओम दंडवाणिये नमः। ओम कृपापूर्णाय नमः। ओम पवरोग पिशक्वराय नमः। ओम स्कंदाय नमः। ओम देवदमाय नमः। ओम अमर्तयाय नमः। ओम सेनानिये नमः। ओम पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः। ओम नमो भगवते श्री अरुणाचल श्री रमणाय नमः। ओम नमो भगवते श्री अरुणाचल श्री रमणाय नमः। ओम नमो भगवते श्री अरुणाचल श्री रमणाय नमः। नमो भगवते श्री कात्याय नमः। नमो भगवते श्री मुरुगाय नमः। ओम भगवते श्री वल्ली दैवानये नमः। नमो भगवते श्री सुब्रमण्याय नमः। ओम नमो भगवते श्री स्वामीनाथने नमः। ओम नमो भगवते श्री दक्षिणामूर्तिये नमः। ओम नमो भगवते श्री नटराजने नमः। ओम नमो भगवते श्री भैरवरे नमः। ओम नमो भगवते श्री नंदीमहेश्वराय नमः। ओम नमो भगवते श्री शिवपार्वतीये नमः। ओम नमः शिवाय नमः। ओम नमः शिवाय नमः। ओम नमः शिवाय नमः। ओम शिवाय नमः। ओम शिवाय नमः। ओम शिवाय नमः। हरि ओम. Let us all recite Bhagavan's Upadesa Saram and then we can start your talk. It is, I will tell you the page. Tamil it is 46 and in Hindi it is page number 90. कर्तुराज्ञया प्रापदे फलम् कर्मगिम्बरं कर्मदज्जडं कृतिमहद्दतो पतनकारणं फलमशाश्वतं गदनिरोधकम् ईश्वरार्पितं नेचया कृतं चित्तशोधकं मुक्तिसाधकं कायवाङ्मन कार्यमुत्तमं भूजनं जप चिन्तनं क्रमात् जगत ईसदी युक्तसेवनम् अष्टमूर्तिभृत् देवपूजनम् उत्तमस्तवा दुज्जमन्दद सिद्धजं जप ज्ञानमुत्तमम् आज्यधारया श्रोतसासमं सरलचिन्तनं विरलदवरं वेदभावना सौवमित्यसौ भावनाविदा भावनीमदा भावशून्यसत् भावसुस्तुति भावनाबला भक्तिरुद्धमा इरुस्तले मन स्वस्थता क्रिया भक्तियोग बोधार्थ निश्चितं वायुरोदना लीयते मन जालपक्षिव रोधसाधनं चित्तवायव सित्क्रियायुधा सागयोद्वयी शक्तिमूलका लयविनाशने उभयरोदने लयकदं पुनः भवति नो मृदं प्राणबन्धना लीनमानसं येकचिन्तना नाशमेत्यद नष्टमानसो दृष्टयोगिन नित्यमस्ति किं स्वस्तिदं यद दृश्यवारिणं चित्तमात्मन चित्वदर्शनं तत्त्वदर्शनं मानसं दुगिं मार्गणे हृदे नैव मानसं मार्ग आर्जवात् वृत्तयस्त्वहं वृत्तिमाश्रिता वृत्तयो मनो विद्यहं मन अहमयं कुतो भवति चिनवद ऐपदत्यहं निजविसारणम् अहमिनासवा यामहं दया स्फुरतीरस्वयं परमपूर्णस इदमहं पदा अभिद्यमन्वहम् अहमिलीनके अप्यल्यसत्तया विक्रयेन्द्रिय प्राणदीदम नामसेकस दज्जडं सस सत्ववासिगा चित्पवेदरा सद्दयायिचि चिद्दयायहम् ईसजीवयो वेशदीपिता सत्स्वभावदो वस्तु केवलं वेशानद स्वात्मदर्शनम् ईशदर्शनं स्वात्मरूपद आत्मसंस्थिति स्वात्मदर्शनम् आत्मनिर्भया आत्मनिष्ठता ज्ञानवर्जिता अज्ञानहीनचि ज्ञानमस्ति किं ज्ञातुमन्तरं किं स्वरूपमे आत्मदर्शने अव्यया भवा अपूर्णसित्सुखं बन्धमुक्त्यदी कंबरं सुगं विन्ददीयहि वस्तुदैविक अहमवेदगं निजविपालकं महति तं तभो रमणवाग्यम्। ओम नमो भगवती श्री अरुणाचल रमणाय नमः। ओम नमो भगवती श्री अरुणाचल रमणाय नमः। ओम नमो भगवते श्री अरुणाचल रमणाय नमः। ओम नमः शिवाय नमः। ओम नमः शिवाय नमः। ओम नमः शिवाय नमः।
Namo Ramana. A very warm welcome to all the devotees for Raman Kendra Delhi's Sunday Satsang. We are privileged to have Swami Prakarshananda ji of Delhi Centers of Chinmay Mission with us today. Swamiji conducts regular Vedanta classes and discourses with equal ease on Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Sri Ramcharitramanas, and other scriptural texts. Swamiji's meditation modules in English and Hindi are well received, and his talks on various texts like Tattvabodh, Sadhana Panchakam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhagavad Gita are available in CD and DVD formats. He is an alumni of Sandeepini Sandhanale, Mumbai, has an illustrious record of service to the Chinmay Mission. He has also worked for 7 years as an assistant professor at the Bombay Veterinary College. I would now request Swami Prakarshananda ji to address our devotees. Swamiji.
Harihi Om. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Should we start?
Yes, sir.
We'll chant the name of Lord. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Please repeat. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Har Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadev. 3 times Omkara together. Please repeat after me. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavakai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवम् सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। ॐ श्रीरमणाय नमः। ॐ श्री अरुणाचल शिवाय नमः। हरिः ओम्। Today we are here to have a satsang for around 40 minutes. Do we have today a special day? Any? Oh, Shashti. So, no, because you know, in your calendar there are different Bhagavans, different. Right, right. So, what I thought I will share some thoughts on one verse which really gives me a great joy. That is Upadeshasara last verse, which is very beautiful, and our Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi Ji is giving us all essence in one verse. So it says, Aham petakam nija vibhanakam mahadidam tapo ramanavagiyam. So Bhagavan is telling us a tapas, and what he also did the tapas. So it is his own direct experience of realization. What is this tapas? So it says ahamam apetakam. So apetakam aham. Apetakam means devoid of. Aham means ego, ahankara. So devoid of ahankara, idam mahad tapasa. So that tapas, which is called as austerity, which is called as sadhana, and which is mahat. Mahat means a very so called as strong, very great. That sort of tapas it is. What is that? Enquiry into the self. Idam. Idam tapas. So this idam here is the enquiry into the self. So if we understand that if we do the enquiry, then what is the result? Nija vibhanakam. Then with the right enquiry, you or anyone, means we all, can reveal our own true self. Ramanavagiyam. And that is what our Bhagavan Raman Maharshi Ji is giving this experience to all of us, that this is how one can do the tapas. So, in the path of spiritual life, if we take example or a role model as our Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi Ji, then what do we see in his life? One-pointedness. What is a great one striking feature? One-pointedness. How is it so? The first and foremost, which we all can appreciate and can really try to understand, is not moving from one place. Just be there forever till the last breath. For all of us, how difficult to be there in one place. Yeah. And another important thing is, nothing as an action. Only one and one action, which is not actually an action, which he has given to the whole world, is a very subtle action of enquiry. Enquiry. So see, sitting at one place, doing enquiry is a mahatapas. That is a point. Which is difficult for common man. That we all have to understand that yes, it is difficult for a common man. So, when somebody asked me, Swamiji, when it is so difficult, why should we do it? So then comes that the person who understands that though it is appear to be tough, but it is doable. So what we should understand, let us just remove this word called as difficult and put the word which is doable. Right? So if we remove one word which is called as difficult and put the word doable, got it? What happens in this change? When we do this change, what happens? What can you think?
It shows in positivity. There are two perspectives of one thing.
Yes.
Like if we are saying that it is difficult or impossible, it means that like we don't want to do it. Like it's just an excuse to run away from it.
Very good.
And if we are saying that it's doable, it means that from our inner core, from innermost, we want to do that.
Yes.
We want to go on that.
So sure and very good. So this is how it is. So when we look at the life also, we should able to have this approach. Because if a question is asked, how tough is to walk on the path of righteousness? If this question is asked, then the answer is very tough. Yes. But even though it is tough, I want to walk. Why? A path of inquiry, so I started like this. Why I want to walk on that path which is so tough? And why not which is easy, which is a path of unrighteousness, which can be molded as per our convenience? Generally people are doing that, right? They want everything as per their convenience, right? When to do a marriage? Only Sunday. Why? Sunday is a day of convenience. So forget about Tithi, whatever Tithi. People don't care about Tithi. What is convenient, that only we want. Now please do it in a temple. Temple? What are you talking in temple? Marriage? we want destination wedding. Now, destination wedding is where in a hotel or in somewhere where there is only bhoga pravritti. So, see what is happening here. It is all convenience that we all are shifting from the righteous path to which is called as pravritti marga, which is called as path of pleasure, and we do not want path of enquiry, which is called as a path of nivritti. Got it? This is a point to understand from this verse. Unless and until there is a nivritti parayana mana, that means that mind which wants to seek something higher, right? So Pujya Swamiji, Pujya Gurudev says, somebody asked him, can you please tell us spirituality in one line? So Pujya Gurudev, Swami Chinmayanandaji says, or rather said, attach to higher, lower will get detached automatically. How simple. Attach to higher, lower will anyway get detached automatically. What is an example? If the child says, Mama, so difficult to go and have a morning walk or a jog, right? Or studies. But if we change this and put something which is called as higher, that if I get up early in the morning, what am I going to get? So if our focus is on that while doing right thing, what am I going to achieve? So by getting early in the morning, the first and foremost, my all health so-called as aspect will be much better than getting up in the late morning. Yes or no? So this is first focus. Then if I get up early in the morning, I will have a extra time in my hand, which all other people, those who get up late during the day, they will not have it. That means I am ahead of the world by 2-3 hours. Just imagine. If you get up at 4, just example. The whole world gets up at say around 7 or 8. Just imagine. 3.5 hours you are ahead of the world. Whatever they start at 7:30, you are starting at 4 o'clock. Hope the point is clear. So, this path of enquiry is only possible when we are ready to walk on this path for the higher gain. What is a lower gain? We must know. And what is a higher gain? Higher gain is purity of mind. What is a higher gain? Purity of mind by righteous action and by the austerities or whatever sadhana, spiritual practice we do. Spiritual practice is equal to purity of mind. Then what is the other way? If we do not follow the righteous path and follow the path of pravritti, which is called as path of prayas. Prayas means path of pleasure. Then we may definitely attain name, fame, power, money. No doubt about it. But ask a question, because it's a path of enquiry. How much money can make you happy? This is a question to be asked. How much of success will make you happy? And what is the ultimate success you define as? Yes or no? So when this inquiry is done, that let me first understand idea of success in my life. What do I understand means success? Can I ask you? What is your idea of success?
Success is like when you achieve something.
Yes, to achieve something, that is success. Can I ask you? Please sit, beta.
Same thing, the goal only, set a goal.
To set a goal and to achieve the goal.
If you speak in terms of mind and body, so success means to achieve something, to have a goal. But in the field of spirituality, for example, Bhagavan Shamana Maharaj said, like the true nature, the true self is not body and mind, it's something else which can't be described in words. So in that sense, there is no success and no failure.
I see. Yes, that's fine. So as per the scripture, as per Bhagavan also, conquering our own mind is a success. What is a simple way to understand? If you conquer your mind, then it is a great success. Why? Because the mind is only troubling us, nobody else troubles us. The idea which we all have or we get that somebody is troubling us is a false notion. Is a false notion. Why? Because it is the perception of a person which sees or which understands it as differently. So therefore, if this success which we understand as a spiritual success, conquering one's own mind. So Bhagavan, Krishna Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna the same message. Uddharet atmana atmanam na atmanam avasadhayet atmaiva yatmana bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. O Arjuna, the message is so clear. What is that? One must lift one's own mind. And what is the means? By one's own self. So if we ask the question here, what is meant by this one's own self? So then it comes a spiritual knowledge. So a spiritual knowledge which is a treasure of an intellect. By the spiritual knowledge, what is going to happen? Is it fine if I keep asking questions? Yeah. See, if we gain the knowledge, what is the next step which happens? Analysis. No, I am just asking only one step ahead. Yeah. Okay, let me just be more clear. If you get a knowledge as an information first, then what is the next step? Is it clear now? The question is more clear. Apply it.
We can see the other things more clear. Like we see things as we are.
Right?
So our perspective will change and we will see it as the thing is.
Okay.
Knowledge we can use to slowly uplift the mind.
Right? Okay. Right? Good. Yeah. What will happen? Because we have a knowledge as an information, as a past impression. We all. Yes or no? We all have a past impression because we are gathering from so many people something or other. Then this new information comes. Right? So when there is a new information, like we all got a vaccine of this COVID-19, what happened? There was inside something and there was outside something. They started fighting together and we developed antibodies. Got it? So there is always a fighting of what? Your previous information and information which you have received now. Why? Because why the mind will leave that which it had already gathered? Good question. What is the reason? So here comes a faith into the picture. So what is faith? Shastreshu Guruvakeshu Vishwasah iti Shraddha. If you have a faith in the scriptures as well as in the words of Guru, then what will you say? What my Guru says, what the Shastra says, that is reality. Whatever my mind says, I have to give it up. Here is a very big struggle. Yeah, so what we are trying to understand, the struggle in the sadhanas. So, how to develop this faith? Then comes reflection. Reflection is what? Mananam. That the knowledge which comes as a new information, you have to reflect over that knowledge. And then you see what is the result. Till today, when we had an attachment and lived the life, it was a life of great up and downs and sorrow. Now Shastra says, leave the attachment and then see the life. Yes or no? This would not happen unless and until a seeker does a very sincere reflection in his life. So after information as a knowledge, what is the next important point? Reflection. Mananam. Mananam. N number of doubts will pop up during your mananam. Why? Because of the past impressions. Both will have a conflict. But if your faith is unshakable, if your surrender is complete, then you will win over your past impressions. Example, Arjun Maharaj. See, he also had a past impressions. He also said to the Bhagavan so many things. And he said, no, it is not good to fight at all. Let me go and do something. Take sannyas and ask for the alms. Did he say or not? Yes, he said so. How did he say? Because of his past impression, something or other that came to his mind. But having got the right knowledge provided by Bhagavan, what did he do? Question, 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 question and question. Yes or no? So this is how, without the enquiry, question means enquiry. Whenever you will inquire, you will have a question in your life. Right? Like if it is asked that if you are a young person, why are you sitting in a spiritual discourse? Don't you have anything to do in the world? And if people make fun of you on this point, so here our idea and our complete perception about our own life should be clear. Unless and until it is clear, we cannot achieve what we want to achieve. So what clarity is required? Two important points. What I want and why I want. What is the clarity required? What I want and why I want. If anyone can answer these two questions, what I want, whatever you want, but you have to justify it, why do I want it? Got it? Then your action will be very one-pointed. Example, now a person who has won the Olympic gold medal, Neeraj Bhaiya, right? From age 10 or 12, he is doing one action. Yes or no? Single point. In his mind, is it clear or not what I want and why I want? Yes or no? Yes. So on both levels, transactional level as well as spiritual level, clarity is must. That what I want and why I want. Otherwise, what will happen? Question. Remain confused. Okay? No success. Attachment. Yeah, okay. What happens? Then people in this world, all around us, will keep telling us what you are doing is useless, is not fruitful. And this is not the way to live the life. Now, if I do not have a clarity, what will happen? Then there is so-called as question mark. And when there is a question mark in anyone's life, nobody can move ahead. Think. You know, when Guru gives the sannyasa, 3:30 in the morning, then the first question before sannyas, are you ready? Because now also there is a chance you can you can go back. Should I do something here? Oh, it's over. Okay. So, example is nice. Unless and until there is a clarity, you can't go ahead. So, there should be a complete clarity what I want and why I want in life. Got it? So, now take an example of Arjuna. There was a confusion here. What I want and why I want. Think. He came to the battlefield. Yes or no? So when you come to the battlefield prepared, what is your mindset? I want to fight the war. But he did not actually pay attention to his inner core of the mind, that am I really ready? And do I know the consequences of my action? Did not ask this question to oneself. And therefore he got completely so-called as tormented, agitated, weak, because of not having the clarity. So what is provided first? The clarity is provided by the Lord to him. Arjuna first asked the question, why are you doing this action? Is it for name, fame, or success? Then he has understood, no, it is not for name, it is not for fame, it is not for success. Then what? Then the question is asked from the Arjuna side, then why am I doing the action? Then he said, now you see who you are from the transactional standpoint first. What is your duty? Having got that role, what is your duty? So he has understood, I am a Kshatriya. I am standing on the platform of righteousness. Then what should be my duty? To protect righteousness. See, the confusion which was there got completely dissolved. Why? He has understood what I have to do and why I have to do. Similarly, in everyone's life, in the seeker's life especially, it should be very clear, because otherwise the world will not allow you to go ahead. Unless and until you be clear in your complete vision of life. Right? Yes. Now, having understood this point, that what I want and why I want, one can now look for, if I want a self-realization, if that is what is my goal of life, if that is the goal of my life, okay, when you set the goal of your life, you understand what all sacrifices required. Unless and until you set the goal, you cannot understand the sacrifices and the level of sacrifices required. Look at now Bhagwan's life. He has set the goal and gave up everything. And that's beautiful example is, somebody gave him a sweet box and he just kept it with him for one day. So in his mind that sweet came. So he threw that box at all. This I do not want, because this much of disturbance also I do not appreciate in my sadhana. So, in the beginning level, or in the beginning path of any seeker, in the beginning duration or in the beginning stages of any seeker, every seeker, there is no choice but to remain aloof from the transactional world is must for some time. And we can see it in the life of n number of great people. Yes or no? So, what I am trying to make the point clear, that unless and until we know our goal, we are not ready for the right action. Then the right action which comes a sacrifice as the step. Right? So here, if I have to inquire, path of inquiry, you require a good silence and a seclusion. Right? Because if you are continuously busy in different action, then where is the time for the inquiry? Fine. So, one must be very clear, there are two different paths. One is a path of Shreyas, which is called as a path which will take you to the highest good. And another is a path of Prayas, which will take you to the great different pleasures of life. First, let us decide, what do I want? And very clearly. So many people come to this conclusion, let us have both together. Yeah, that's how people come to this sort of compromise, that let this be also there and this also be there. Nothing wrong as such, nothing wrong. But then what final achievement which is required will be extremely slow. Extremely slow. The path you will definitely walk, but it will have a speed which is called as a very slow speed. Fine? Nothing wrong in it. Then your speed will increase once you again understand the futility of all the experiences of life. And that also will happen because of enquiry again. Got it? So anyway, in the path of knowledge, you cannot run away from the inquiry. No one of us can run away from inquiry. Every stage, inquiry is must. And our Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, this is a great tapas. Inquiry is a great tapas. Because all other people, for them, it is tough. Inquiry is tough. Why? To inquire, you require certain level of purity of mind. Then certain level of your awareness should be there to inquire. Because we all know, we all were also so gross that we never knew that the mind is troubling us. What we were telling, world is troubling us. Yes or no? This is by right, satsang, right? Grace of the Lord and Guru Parampara, we have understood, my God, there is nothing which troubles outside. There is a trouble from inside. See? So, this is how the inquiry slowly will take you and make you very firm towards your higher goal of life. And then only by right inquiry, where we will inquire what is the origin of the mind. Is mind independently existing? Does it have separate existence? Does it have its own power? These are the questions which are extremely important to answer by one's own self. Now, let us take up this one inquiry. If the mind has an independent existence, then it should remain active even in the sleep, deep sleep. But it is not active at all. And it is not there at all. That means in some stage of life it is there, and in some stage of life which is not there, that means that which comes and that which goes, as per the Vedanta Shastra, it is called as unreal. Then, if it is unreal, then what is the substratum of it? How is it gaining that reality? There comes then the last point, which is called as Nididhyasanam, meditation. In this sadhana, a seeker has to continuously strengthen one's own witnesshood. Once you are established in your witnesshood, then you will understand mind cannot have any sort of superpower on you, or called as overpower on you. It cannot overpower you. Why? Because the moment you start witnessing the mind continuously, it loses its own strength. Why? Because if you don't identify with the thought, thought has no power of its own. So we provide a power to the thought. And what happens then? We keep getting identified with the thought, and the thought becomes like from this size to this size. And then if it becomes this big size, then it takes all of us on ride. So not to provide a power to the thought, this is a great tapas. Mahadidam tapo ramanavagiyam. So in the seat of meditation, one has to understand, if the thought is coming, it is because of my past impression. Let us not label it at all, good or bad. If I don't label it, it does not gain any momentum. The moment I label it, I identify with it. But if I do not label it, then it does not have any existence of its own. So, slowly doing this, apektakam aham happens. That means this ego ends, gets completely destroyed by continuous inquiry into the origin of the mind. Origin of the mind. When you reach to the origin of the mind, you will reach to the self, because the self is the substratum of the mind. Aham petakam nija vibhanakam mahadidam tapo ramanavagiyam ramanavagiyam. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you for being with us. We all could have this opportunity for a satsang, and let us thanks to the Lord for giving us all this opportunity. Hari Om.
Swamiji, thank you so much for a wonderful satsang.
Narayan.
After a long time, it came in that 2014, I think, that Golden Jubilee. Golden Jubilee, you were there.
But after that also I came.
After that also, you were there.
Yeah. We had a satsang there up in the hall.
Swamiji, thank you so much for the satsang. Narayanji, I would request you now for Aksharmana Malai and Aarti.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
प्रसाद आया क्यों देखो प्रसाद आया क्यों we will all I will recite 14 stanzas of Aksharman Malay just for 5 minutes followed by Arti. First 14 Aksharman Malay. I will recite it, you can also recite. Muruganar had written this. Lord Muruganar, when आ गया है प्रसाद भी आ गया। I will recite it, you can all listen because it is in Tamil very difficult to understand. That's something. தருணாருணமணி கிரிணாவலி நிகர் தரும் அக்ஷரமண மகிழ் மாலை திருநாடிய திரு அடியார் தெருமரம் தெடிய பரவுதல் பொருளாக கருணாகரமுனி ரமணாரி என்புவர் கையினால் சொல்லியது கதியாக அருணாச்சலம் என அகமே அறிவோடும் ஆழ்வார் சிவனுலகு ஆழ்வாரே. That is, one who recites Arunachalam is merged with Lord Shiva. That is what Muruganar says. One who has written this. அருணாச்சலவரர் கேற்ற அக்ஷரமண மாலை சாற்ற கருணாகர கணபதியே கரம் அருளி காப்பாயே. அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல அருணாச்சலம் என்ன அகமே நினைப்பவர் அகந்தை வேறறுப்பார் அருணாச்சலா அழகு சுந்தரம் போல் அகமும் நீயும் உன் அபிநமயிருப்போம் அருணாச்சலா. This is called Alagu, is Bhagavan's mother's name and father's name is Sundaram. So the meaning is same, beauty. So that is why Muruganar is praising his father and mother. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Agambugundhirtum Agagugai Shirayat Amar Vittadenkon Arunachala பகிலம் பழித்திடும் அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா இப்படி தப்புனையே நினைப்பித்தாய் இனி யார் விடுவார் அருணாச்சலா ஈன்றிடும் மன்னை பெரிதருள் புரிவோய் இதுவோ உனதருள் அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா உனையே மாற்றி ஓடாதுள்ளத்தின் மேல் உறுதியாயிருப்பாய் அருணாச்சலா ஊர் சுற்று ஊழம் விழா உன்னை கண்டு அடங்கி உன்னழகை காட்டருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா என்னை அழித்திப்போ என்னை கலவாவிடில் இதுவோ ஆண்மை அருணாச்சலா ஏன் இந்த உறக்கம் என்னை பிறருக்க இது உனக்கழகோ அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா ஐம்புல கள்வர் அகத்தினில் புகும்போர் அகத்தில் நீ இலையோ அருணாச்சலா ஒருவனாம் உன்னை ஒளித்தேவர் வருவார் உன் சூதே இது அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா ஓங்காரம் பொருள் உப்புயர்வில்லை உனையார் அறிவார் அருணாச்சலா ஔவை போல எனக்குன் அருளை தந்து என ஆழ்வது உன் கடன் அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சலம் வாழி அன்பர்களும் வாழி அக்ஷர மணமாலை வாழி சொல்லலாம் வாழ்க சுயம் பிரகாசம் வாழ்க வாழ்கவே சூழ்க சுத்தாத்ம சக்தி சூழ்க சூழ்கவே வாழ்க சுயம் பிரகாசம் வாழ்க வாழ்கவே சூழ்க சுத்தாத்ம சக்தி சூழ்க சூழ்கவே ஏழுலங்க ஜீவன் முக்தி இன்பம் பொங்கவே ஏழுலங்க ஜீவன் முக்தி இன்பம் பொங்கவே இதயமாகும் இறைவனா எல்லாம் ஓங்கவே இதயமாகும் இறைவனான் எல்லாம் ஓங்கவே பாழ்மனம் மகன் சச்சிதானந்தா பால் பொழிகவே பரம சச்சிதானந்தா போல் பொழிகவே வாழ்க சுயம் பிரகாசம் வாழ்க வாழ்கவே சூழ்க சுத்தாத்ம சக்தி சூழ்க சூழ்கவே தட்டிலாத நித்திய ஜீவம் தத்துவமோங்கவே தட்டிலாத நித்திய ஜீவம் தத்துவமோங்கவே தன்மயத்தி சின்மயம் கழித்தி ஓங்கவே தன்மயத்தி சின்மயம் கழித்தி ஓங்கவே எட்டு திக்கும் அம்சசோ எதிரொலிக்கவே எட்டு திக்கும் அம்சசோ எதிரொலிக்கவே எல்லாம் பிரம்மம் என்னும் இறைவகிக்கவே எல்லாம் பிரம்மம் என்னும் இறைவகிக்கவே வாழ்க சுயம் பிரகாசம் வாழ்க வாழ்கவே சூழ்க சுத்தாத்ம சக்தி சூழ்க சூழ்கவே. Brahman is everywhere. He says Brahman is everywhere. Brahman. Om Bhurbhuvaswava Tassaudarvavaniam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prajodayad Dev Savita Prasva Satyam Dardana Parsanjami Amrustu Amruni Swaha Om Prana Swaha Om Amana Swaha Om Jnana Swaha Om Udana Swaha Om Samana Swaha Om Brahmane Swaha Arunachal Shri Ramanaya Namaha Arunachal Shri Ramanaya Namaha Arunachal Shri Ramanaya Namaha Shiv Parvatiye Namaha Shiv Parvatiye Namaha Shiv Parvatiye Namaha Puraganda Annadanam Nevidyam Samarpayami Madhye Madhye Paniyam Samarpayami Amrudopatam Utravasam Samarpayami Neerajanam Samarpayami Neerajananantaram Asmaniyam Samarpayami Pugibala Samayitam Nagavalli Talayaram Karpurna Surna Samritam Devudam Karpura Neerajanam Sri Ramana Maharishiki Samarpayami. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya Namaha Namo Bhagavate Shri Kartiyaya Namaha Murgaya Vati Devaya Namaha Namo Bhagavate Shri Subramanyaya Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Swaminathanaya Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Dakshinamurtiye Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Dakshinamurtiye Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Vainavare Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Nandivaisaraya Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Shiv Parvatiye Namaha Om Namah Shivaya Namaha Om Namah Shivaya Namaha Om Namah Shivaya Namaha Om Shivaya Namaha Om Shivaya Namaha Om Shivaya Namaha. Somova Ekasya Rajamadate Yo Raja Tanrajo Vasodene Jade Devaswa Vedani Yamshi Bhavandi Edavando Vai Devanam Swa Kayevasmaikwan Prachandi Kayenam Munasthavande Rajaya Devutu Raja Bhavadi Nadatra Suryo Padana Chandradayam Nema Vikto Vandi Kudoha Mekani Tamevani Manmani Dharma Devata Dharma Divadi Karpura Neerajanam Shri Ramana Maharishikam Karpura Neerajanam Shri Murgavali Devan Karpuram Shivam Shiv Parvatikim Samarpayami. Swaha Arunachal Ramana Bhagavan पुष्पम दे दीजिए। शोभां पुष्पं वेद पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति चन्द्रमा भावं पुष्पं पुष्पं पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति ॐ तद्ब्रह्मा ॐ तद्वायु ॐ तदात्मा ॐ तत्सत्यं ॐ तत्सर्वं ॐ तत्पुरोर्नमः अन्तर्जलभूतेषु गुहायां विश्वमूर्तिषु त्वं यज्ञस्तं वसत्कारस्तं मित्रस्तं रुद्रस्तं विष्णुत्वं ब्रह्मत्वं प्रजापति ॐ तदापो ज्योतिरसोऽमृतं कुर्वं सर्वं न कर्मणा न प्रजयादने नित्यानेके अमृतत्वमानसु परेण नाहं नीतं गुहायां विप्राजते दत्तदेहो विसन्ति वेदान्त विज्ञानते नित्यदाता संन्यास योगानतय शुद्धसत्त्वा ते ब्रह्मलोके तु परामकाले परामृतात् परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे तानं विभागं परमेश्वभूतं यत् पुण्डरीकं पुरमत्य सदं तत्राभिस्तकरमकगनं विशोकं तस्मिन् यजन्तत् ऋतुवादित्यं यो वेदातौ सुर प्रोक्तो वेदात् च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य परसमयेश्वरः मन्त्रपुष्पं समर्पयामि। ॐ तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु। हरि ओम् हरि ओम् हरि ओम्।
This brings us to the closure of today's Sunday Satsang with Swami Prakarshananda ji. We shall meet again online next Sunday. Namo Ramana.